All right, so it is your girl Lise, and Lise is living. And I was doing at one point I was doing videos that had themes, I guess. Like I was talking about something in particular, and I wanted to get back to that. So this is that. I want to talk about Okay, I want to talk about politics because I'm really into politics, but not like into politics. Like I think they're bullshit. I think like voting two party system. Like I think it's bullshit, and I feel like now, present day with Trump, it is crystal clear how bullshit it is. It is crystal clear how bullshit it's been. And I don't think in my lifetime, maybe my parents' lifetime, we ever seen something so like, I don't know. I can't talk about my parents' lifetime because they older than me, but at least in my lifetime, and I just seen some fucked up shit. I'm a millennial, like a mid-aged millennial. I remember like historic things like 9/11. Like 9/11, after 9/11, our country changed, and I wasn't into politics then. My grandma, rest in peace, my grandma used to be into politics, and it was just always interesting to like debate and like talk with her, like, and have um, to hear her opinions about shit, because she come from a time. That's why I'm like I can't speak for their time, but I know in my time I ain't never seen shit so crazy, and I'm so glad she is not here to see this shit, because this was fucked up, especially after Obama, because niggas like Obama. I didn't like Obama, but hey, that's what they like, whatever. That's what they like, whatever. But they seeing now, though. I think they all seeing now. Is that right after that you have this nigga Trump, and Trump is like, not that Obama was just like super good or whatever, but Obama was like everything you supposed to be, right? You supposed to be. Well, if you're gonna be president, you gotta be hella smart. You gotta be hella articulate. You gotta know how to, be a diplomat. You gotta care what people think of you. You have to care what people think of you. And this nigga Trump do not give a fuck. He do not give a fuck. I feel like white men as a whole are on trial right now. And honestly, it's been a slow trial, because white men are the center of a lot of the bullshit that we have right now. So I'm sorry, white man, but it's kind of your time. And Trump is the perfect symbolization of that. Like he is, he is racist. He is sexist. He is just everything that you, as a decent person, and I'm saying decent in fact, like, you're not racist. You may not agree with everyone, but you're not like going around actively hating and perpetuating a system of inequality based upon the skin color. You're like, yeah, but Trump is like, I just can't believe like some of the things that it's just become like, oh well, Trump's just Trump. Trump can say anything, anything. Like literally, he could say anything. He says himself. Well, people would say too. Like if he was to shoot somebody, I don't think he would get arrested for it. Like, cause he is so above the law, and it's only because of that white manness. I swear to God, I know it sounds so like petty or so like, no, like, yes, because the system, it upholds that, and you see it. Trump is vile. He sometimes doesn't make sense. He lies all the time, and yet still, there is no like calling him out. There is calling him out, but there's no fucking like action to calling him out. There's no like article, like Nancy Pelosi don't even want to do no impeachment. Like everyone was impeachment. Everyone thought that that's what y'all was gonna do when y'all was like, okay, well, Trump is elected, we the resistance. Like that's what people thought y'all was gonna do, and y'all not doing that. Like y'all are not doing that. Y'all are doing business as usual, and people is. I don't think they under. I don't think modern politics really fits into the world that we have right now. Like, that was like how you controlled maybe like 60, 70, 100, all these years ago, right? And now we are in the fucking, essentially the future, like, the future of that time. And yet, white men still to this day hold so much, like, authority, power, and we just see it as like, oh, well, because that's how things have all, like, no one is thinking like, hey, maybe why don't we try to be more inclusive and um, just aware of like people outside of white men, like people, black people, Latino people, other foreign people. Like, we really need to get real about what it is that we are all kind of contributing to. We're contributing to their system that keeps them at the top and keeps you striving to be better. Like, it keeps you striving to be better, trying to, doing anything to survive. Like, they've manipulated you into thinking like your life is about your job and how you can be in society, how you can have a fucking, like, people have like a version, of themselves that they are to the world, and then they don't even really know who they are, like, underneath. I'm starting to see that is what the world is full of. And I don't think people who are in politics are thinking like that. They're not thinking like, oh, people out there are really struggling. People out there, I think they've just been, that's what they know to say. Like, that's what they know people care about. But people are so busy and stuck in that struggle that they can't even see outside of it. And especially on a national level, like, if you've always been disenfranchised, there's no, like, I don't know. I don't know how this can continue. And there's a lot of talk about, Second Amendment rights. And don't get me wrong, like, I battle with this. This is something I do battle with, because I honestly feel like the white men are dangerous. They are dangerous. And you need something. You don't need something. I'm just being honest. I'm being real. But on another level, I'm also like, issue is the guns themselves. It's not so much the person with the gun, because the person with the gun, definitely, but like, there are more guns than there are people. Like, there are more guns than there are people. So I feel like the guns just outnumber us, and we shouldn't go for that. Like, we really shouldn't go for that, because it just, man, it just don't seem. And I feel like if we are to evolve too, like, if we are to evolve on a mental, emotional, spiritual level, then we really have to look past like shit like guns. Like, we really have to look past the idea of feeling like everything is out to get you. You got to protect yours. Like, we need to address why we feel that way. Just, why do we feel that way in 2019 when there is so much like abundance in the world? And I say abundance in terms of like just people and nature and experience and food and all these, culture, just like off top. And yet we are letting corporations control our natural resources and like allocate how we can live, where we can, like, all to support, then again, that white man system, which I'm sorry to say again, but it's always the center of everything, because it's how everything is upheld, it's how everything is sustained. And so that's why I like politics, because it's interesting to see shit over time, but it's honestly like, this is the most, like, I've been into it but not really into it, but now I feel like the most optimistic about it, because I feel like people are really starting to like see that and like understand, hey, maybe politics needs to be different. Maybe we shouldn't let people, who've been in like politics for hella long, or like been in their position for hella long, stay in their position if shit isn't changing. Like, I'm sorry, but I ain't like, I don't know. I don't live in San Francisco. But Nancy Pelosi been in office for hella long, and I feel like she's been fighting for the same things for hella long. And yet, everything is just this tug of war with the Republicans. Like, oh, we don't want to seem like we're the Republicans. Like, the Republicans are gonna think that we're like, fuck the Republicans got Trump. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. I believe that with my whole soul. That they do not care about working with us and helping us and making shit right. Like, I just don't believe it. I'm sorry. I think they're about sustaining the system. I think that's what they're about. And clearly, their allegiance to Trump, like, no one, they all just fall in line. Like, even the ones who used to, like, Mitch McConnell himself said that Trump was racist. And yeah, here he is just doing his bidding, like, this is real life. Like, to me, politics is like, it's entertaining. Like, it's like the ultimate drama because it's like our country depends on it. So I'm excited though, because there are people in Congress like the squad, people who are like unbought, people who don't have like corporations donating to them, because when they have the corporations donating to them, that's who they work for. And I feel like it's so obvious. Like, shit, Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, it don't matter. They all get paid from the same corporations that keep them in power. And that's all it is. Like, there's these little battles, like, how like they say, like, the war is won in many battles. Like, there are these little battles going on. Like, people are fighting for equality and, shit that they want. Like, people are speaking up about, like, here, gentrification. Like, people are waking up. Like, I see that. Like, I don't see it on TV a lot, but I see it in real life. And I see it in my interpersonal, like, connections. Like, people are starting to wake up. Like, even my mom was talking about vote. Well, I'm not gonna say who she was voting for, but somebody I didn't think she was gonna vote for. So I was like, okay, man, people may be tired of the same old, right? So I'm optimistic. I definitely am a Bernie supporter, but I'm not saying that that's who I'm gonna vote for. Like, I definitely like Bernie Sanders though. I think as an old man, like, to be saying these things, and don't get me wrong, like, you could say, oh, you want somebody younger, somebody who kind of, like, more reflective of the times, but I think someone old also has, like, a perspective, and not to say, like, he doesn't, and I feel like he do a good job of, like, getting with the times. Like, it's not like he's stuck in the past. Like, I don't feel like he's stuck in the past, but I think the idea of people should come first. People, like, the country, everything should be for the people. Like, I think that's, like, classic American. Like, I think for a lot of people, we believe that is just what happens. Like, that is just what's supposed to happen because this is America, right? But it's not, and he see it, and I appreciate that. Like, I appreciate that. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But yeah, politics is hella interesting. I said I was gonna start doing, like, commentary, but Trump he's too much. It's exhausting. Like, it kind of is exhausting. It's exhausting and it's, like, enraging at the same time, because it's like, this white man can do no wrong. Like, he's done so much wrong and still nothing. Like, nothing. So it's like, Obama wore a tan suit and all hell broke loose. Like, all hell broke loose. Like, it was like the biggest scandal. But this nigga Trump have a scandal every week. Every week is something, and it's like a lie after lie. And that's just me being objective. Like, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm just looking at the shit objectively. Like, damn, okay. Trump just doesn't give a fuck. And he's gonna say what the fuck he wants to say, because he is the embodiment of that white male entitlement. Like, he is it personified. Like, if y'all wanted to know what y'all look like to us, That's what you look like to us. You know, not to say that that's who you are. That's who you look like, though. Just like you scared of me, I'm scared of that. Like I'm saying I'm gonna give you a chance, though. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna give you a chance. That's me. That's what I believe. I believe everybody deserves a chance. I feel like Trump did not deserve this chance, but I feel like America, we deserve this chance because now we can see it and now we know if we living with it, if we not living with it, how we dealing with it. But from the looks of it, the people in power want to stay in power, and they willing to do whatever they got to do. They willing to say and agree, well, not necessarily agree, but not condone, not blast, not hold accountable. Like, Trump is not held accountable for shit. And as a nigga, like, I just don't understand that. I don't understand that. And maybe as just who I am. not so much my nigginess, but damn, this is who we got. This is where we are. All right, America, I see you. And man, it hasn't gotten much better. Like, at least I guess, well, shit, I don't know. We can get into police brutality. We can get into gentrification. All these fucking things that are threatening the lives of black people, and yet nothing. So, it's an interesting time. And then you got the ADOS movement. I had to put that in there because it's a part of politics too, where people who are identified as American descendants of slaves or child slavery are starting to see themselves as a particular ethnic group, which I don't think, like, honestly, I don't think is wrong. Like, I don't think it's wrong at all, because black has been so co-opted. Like, black is anything not white at this point, but there are different kinds of black. Like, there are Nigerians, there are Haitians, there are shit. Even in America, like, you got black people from the South, you got black people from the East, or you got, like, you have so much diversity in blackness. So I feel like wanting to kind of distinguish yourself in a way, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's just how I feel. I don't feel like it's a Russian, like, bot, or, like, I just feel like black people in America deserve something like that. So I don't see how you could be against it. Now, don't get me wrong, like, people, people are people, but I think that on itself is enough. Like, people are people, but that in itself I feel like is what it is. So I support ADOS movement. I do. I'm really, it's interesting, but it's also very young, and, like, you can start to see, like, hey, why don't we start now with being, like, inclusive of different, black Americans, something like, I don't know. I just see a lot for this. And not to say Black Lives Matter wasn't like that was a big movement, and I feel like, I don't know. Let me stop there. But yeah, that's my video about politics.